think I'm live. I'm so happy to be here for this daily check-in with my friends at St. Luke's Presbyterian Church. And today, I wanted to check in and talk to you a little bit about celebrating and promises. And something that I'm definitely celebrating is that today is the last day for St. Luke's Little Saints preschool and kindergarten. And we had, despite a 9-week school closure, we had a wonderful school year. And I'm so proud of our teachers and all the marvelous new things they learned to help encourage learning at home for this age group, which was a little challenging. And I'm very proud of all of our parents who picked up the ball and were able to continue the learning at home. If you've been around St. Luke's during graduation time at the preschool, you may have noticed a beautiful rainbow in our sanctuary. And that is a very important part of our end of the year program. There's a little history behind that rainbow. 17 years ago, my first year as the director, I wanted to have something meaningful and special for our pre-K children to graduate with as they were moving forward to kindergarten. And the rainbow came to mind as a wonderful symbol of promise, and what better time to enjoy the promise of the future than during a graduation. So I asked my friend, Tom McIntosh, if he could build a rainbow for me. And I'm not exactly sure what I had in mind, but what I did not have in mind was a rainbow that would stretch from the pulpit to the lectern. But you know Tom McIntosh, he makes miracles happen, and he does nothing in small scale. So if you haven't seen it, you can picture it now, that there's this giant arc that we have for our pre-K children to graduate by. And all of our children sing on the end of the year program with this beautiful rainbow in the chancel. I think that's what that place is called. Anyway, the Friday night before the end of the year program, 17 years ago, I asked a friend of mine to come to Old Shepherd Hall and help me paint our brand new rainbow. And so I had it marked off so we could paint several different colors to represent all the beautiful colors of the rainbow. And that good friend of mine was Julie Knotts. And so we had all of our paints and we were having a great time, and we were having such a good time we didn't even recognize what time it was. And for some reason Tom and Leela came over to the church and were shocked that we were there on a Friday night doing that. And famous words from Mr. McIntosh to me were, "You need to get a life." So that was 17 years ago, and my version of getting a life continues to be working late and having fun with friends while we do these great things for our little saints. So that's some fun history of how we got to have our physical rainbow, and the history of why the rainbow was chosen. But this week, we couldn't stand under the rainbow as a school and sing our end of the year songs to our parents. And our pre-K children were not able to wear their caps and gowns and graduate. And this is not a solo story. Every single one of us is dealing with disappointment over this shelter at home. And even though it's opened a bit, there's so many things that have been altered, of course. No one knows that better than all of my friends at St. Luke's. So my message this week to our little saints and our families, our little saints families, was all about the rainbow and how it does promise a beautiful promise from God. And I used this Bible verse from Genesis for our children, and I think it's, of course, equally apropos for, of course, we adults. "Whenever I bring clouds over the earth, a rainbow will be seen, and I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you and every living creature." And as we know, a covenant is a promise from God, between God and his people. And this verse speaks so well to us right now as we're living under a cloud. And we are so grateful to know that God has made a promise that he will look after us and hold us by the hand and take care of us during this time. That's a beautiful lesson for little saints, and it's a beautiful lesson for all of us at St. Luke's Presbyterian Church as well. You may be surprised at how many of your fellow church members serve on the staff of St. Luke's Little Saints preschool and kindergarten, but there are quite a few of the 23 of us on staff that are church members. And I would like right now to just celebrate them with you. Stephanie McGoldrick, Nan Keel, Carol Waller, Cheryl Welford, Jenny Burrows, Kathy Rice, Betsy King, Kelly Sloan, Laura Singley, and Erin Murray. Don't we have a wonderful group of church members doing this wonderful ministry on our Monday through Friday with our little saints? I'm so proud to work with them, and I'm so proud to have during this moment where there is certainly challenge abounds. I'm so grateful to celebrate them for such a wonderful passing of 9 weeks. And I would like to end my little check-in with you, my St. Luke's friends, suggesting that maybe we all look for something to celebrate. For those of you not in a school scenario, there might be a graduate that you do know, and their graduation ceremony looks very different, but nonetheless something to celebrate. Perhaps you've made your first trip out to the grocery store and been successful with your mask and your grocery disinfecting like we're all doing. It's something to celebrate to get back out in public. Maybe we celebrate this beautiful day with the birds singing and a walk down a sunny street as we think about God's promise and his covenant for a brighter tomorrow. I am so glad to be here with you. I don't know if I'll be allowed to again. Shannon's going to fire me from the live video since I was supposed to be here at 1:30. It didn't happen. Hey, Marilyn Brown. But 10 people and 4 devices later, maybe we made it work. It's so good to see you. Happy Friday. Keep celebrating and keep looking for God's beautiful rainbow of promise. Goodbye, friends.